There's something deeply wrong with the way people manifest their realities, and it's not what you think. Most people believe that manifestation is a complex, almost mystical process, a game of chance where some win and some lose. But what lies behind this narrative is something much more precise, much more scientific. Imagine for a moment that you've been programmed to believe that your greatest achievements depend on an impossible combination of factors: luck, good timing, the right connections. What if I told you that this is exactly the narrative that keeps you stuck? It's not chance. It's a deliberate system to keep you in a state of perpetual waiting, a mechanism so subtle that it seems natural, but in fact, it's a control program. Manifestation is not an event. It's a state of being. And quantum physics reveals something that completely contradicts what you've been conditioned to believe. Reality doesn't happen to you. Reality happens through you. I'm going to ask you a question that will dismantle everything you thought you knew. What if manifestation wasn't about doing something, but about becoming someone? At the quantum level, particles don't exist as solid objects. They exist as pure possibilities, waves of potential. And here's the secret no one tells you. You operate exactly the same way. It's not mysticism, it's physics. In the double-slit experiment, electrons change their behavior simply by being observed. The observer doesn't just watch. The observer causes the result. So when they tell you that manifestation is about techniques, rituals, affirmations, they're selling you a completely outdated model, a model that keeps you exactly where you are. But before I reveal the true mechanism, I need to dismantle 3 myths that prevent you from seeing the radical simplicity of quantum manifestation. Want to know what they are? Here's the continuation, focusing on the double-slit experiment as a quantum manifestation metaphor. The laboratory was silent, almost too silent. White walls, sterile equipment, and an experiment that would forever shatter our understanding of reality. In 1927, something extraordinary happened that scientists are still struggling to explain. Electrons behaving like living intelligence, responding to observation itself. Imagine a wall with 2 narrow slits. Behind it, a detection screen. Electrons fired one at a time, each expected to create 2 distinct bands matching the slits. But that's not what happened. Instead, the electrons created an interference pattern as if they were waves, passing through both slits simultaneously. The moment human observation was introduced, everything changed. When no one watched, the electrons behaved like waves, infinite potential, everywhere and nowhere. The instant a conscious observer focused, these waves collapsed into precise, predictable particles. One specific location, one defined trajectory. This isn't metaphor. This is fundamental physics revealing something profound. Consciousness doesn't just perceive reality. Consciousness generates reality. Your attention is the most powerful quantum technology you possess. I'm telling you now. Not your thoughts, not your desires. Your pure, unfiltered awareness. Most people live like they're watching a predetermined movie. But quantum physics reveals you're actually the projector, the screen, and the filmmaker, all at once. Would you like me to continue developing this thread? Let's dive into those quantum manifestation moments that secretly define your reality. 3 a.m. Doubt. Vortex. You're awake, heart racing. That familiar spiral of panic consuming your nervous system. Traditional wisdom says think positive or meditate, but quantum reality reveals something far more precise. This moment is not a problem. It's a calibration point. Your body is broadcasting a frequency of fear, and the quantum field is listening with absolute fidelity. The quantum shift? Don't fight the anxiety. Become the curious observer. Drop into your breath, not as a technique, but as pure awareness. Feel the sensation without narrative. In 30 seconds, you're not managing anxiety. You're dissolving its molecular structure. Bank account trauma. You open the screen, heart constricting, expecting confirmation of lack. Traditional manifestation says, visualize abundance. But the quantum field doesn't respond to visualization. It responds to your nervous system's baseline frequency. The quantum truth, your financial state is a perfect reflection of your internal signal. Not your thoughts, not your affirmations, your unconscious baseline of safety or scarcity. The moment you generate a frequency of inherent worthiness, not hope, but knowing, the field recalibrates. Vision board mockery, those images feeling like distant fantasies taunting you from the wall. Most people treat manifestation like a wishful shopping list. Quantum reality reveals Those images are already alive within you, not as desire, as potential. The shift. Stop looking at the board. Close your eyes. Feel the embodied version of that reality. Not imagine. Feel. Your nervous system cannot distinguish between remembered and anticipated experience. And the quantum field? It collapses based on that felt sense. Would you like me to continue revealing these quantum manifestation moments? Jim Carrey's $10 million quantum manifestation decoded. Most see a Hollywood success story. I see a precise quantum field collapse. Before fame, Carrey wasn't just visualizing. He was quantum engineering his reality with surgical precision. Every night he would drive his beaten-up Toyota to the Hollywood Hills, parking where mansion views stretched before him. But this wasn't visualization. This was frequency stabilization. He would sit, not hoping, but knowing. He wrote himself a $10 million check, dated it 5 years in advance, placing it in his wallet. Not as a vision board trick, but as a vibrational anchor. The quantum mechanism. He wasn't performing abundance. He was embodying it. His nervous system didn't distinguish between the Toyota and the future mansion. Every cell was broadcasting, "This is already mine." Traditional manifestation teaches waiting. Quantum reality reveals, collapse is instantaneous when the internal signal is coherent. Carrey wasn't trying to become successful. He was already living from that frequency. The check wasn't a goal. It was a quantum coordinate system. Most cannot replicate this because they're broadcasting uncertainty while wanting certainty. Carrey's genius wasn't talent. It was total frequency alignment. 3 quantum practices extracted. 1. Vibrational anchoring. Place physical objects representing your desired reality, where you'll interact with them daily. 2. Nervous system recalibration. Generate the feeling of the outcome before external evidence arrives. 3. Frequency locking. Remove all language of possibility. Speak and feel from the state of absolute knowing. Would you like me to elaborate on these quantum manifestation technologies? So here's your checkpoint. A declaration not to the algorithm, but to yourself. Type in the comments, "I collapse realities, I don't chase them." Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your old desperate hoping, but the quantum embodiment you choose in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation. And if you can feel it now, then it's already here. 2 years of silent warfare. Sarah had done everything right. Vision boards meticulously crafted. Affirmations repeated religiously. Journals filled with microscopic details of desired outcomes. And yet, absolute silence from the universe. Each morning felt like another betrayal. Her dreams mocking her from perfectly organized pages. Her bank account a testament to her apparent energetic incompetence. The breaking point arrived on a Tuesday. Not dramatically, quietly. A moment of total exhaustion where something inside her said, "This isn't working. And it's not because you're broken. It's because the method is." Her quantum discovery wasn't theatrical. It was a whisper. A moment of total surrender where she stopped performing manifestation and started being the frequency. Day 1. Confusion. Dropping all techniques felt terrifying. Day 3. First synchronicity. A random conversation containing exactly the insight she'd been seeking. Day 5. A stranger approaches with an opportunity that felt like it was coded specifically for her nervous system. Day 7. Total collapse. Not of effort, of the old identity. The 30-day quantum shift was ruthless in its precision. Relationships recalibrated instantly. Money began flowing without strategy. Opportunities appeared before she could even articulate them. Sleep transformed from restless to regenerative. Intuition became her primary navigation system. Physiologically, she was different. Not just mentally, cellularly. Her nervous system had been completely rewired. No longer broadcasting lack, now emanating inevitability. Would you like me to reveal the exact quantum mechanism behind her transformation? Quantum timeline architecture, the multiverse as your personal playground. Imagine reality not as a linear progression, but as an infinite probability landscape, where every potential version of you exists simultaneously. The many worlds interpretation isn't theoretical, it's your operational system. Schrödinger's famous cat experiment reveals a profound truth. Reality exists in superposition until observation collapses the wave function. You're not just observing reality, you're selecting it. Practical quantum timeline navigation. 1. Recognition protocol. Your current timeline is a frequency, not a location. Dominant emotional baseline determines dimensional access. Symptoms of timeline misalignment, feeling out of sync, energetic exhaustion without clear source. 2. Timeline jump mechanics. Meditation isn't relaxation. It's dimensional recalibration. Quantum jumping requires nervous system coherence, zero attachment to current circumstances. 3. Frequency, stabilization. 80% of timeline shift happens before external evidence. Your body knows the timeline before your mind comprehends it. Physiological markers of successful quantum jump. Increased intuitive clarity. Physical energy recalibrates quantum meditation practice. Close eyes. Breathe. Feel the version of you who has already lived your desired reality. Not imagining, remembering. Your nervous system cannot distinguish between remembered and anticipated experience. The field collapses based on felt sense, not mental construct. Would you like me to decode the exact frequency signatures that determine your dimensional access? Quantum evolutionary manifestation. Beyond popular paradigms. Law of attraction. The incomplete frequency map, 20%. Truth. Recognizes consciousness influences reality, 80% missing. Treats focus as mental exercise, not vibrational broadcast. Quantum upgrade. Focus isn't thought. It's cellular coherence. Why partial results occur. Momentary alignment creates temporary shifts. Quantum revelation. Attraction is a frequency, not a mental technique. Neville Goddard's feeling is the secret. The proximity approach, 20%. Truth. Emotional state precedes manifestation, 80%. Missing. Didn't explain precise neurological mechanism. Quantum upgrade. Feeling isn't just emotional. It's a quantum signal. Why partial results happen. Intermittent emotional congruence. Quantum revelation. Feeling is a full-body frequency transmission, not just sentiment. Abraham Hicks emotional scale. The vibrational tuning fork, 20%. Truth. Emotions have different energetic frequencies, 80%. Missing. Didn't provide precise collapse mechanism. Quantum upgrade. Emotions are wave function selectors. Why partial results occur. Momentary frequency alignment. Quantum revelation. Emotions are quantum observation tools, not just internal states. The meta perspective. Quantum is the operating system. All previous methods were pointing toward quantum mechanics. They were map makers. Quantum is the territory. Each approach contributed a fragment of the larger understanding. Quantum doesn't replace these teachings. It completes them. Practical integration. Your body is a quantum antenna constantly broadcasting potential realities. Would you like me to reveal how to calibrate your personal frequency generator? Quantum frequency calibration. Nervous system reprogramming meditation. Find a comfortable position. Spine elongated. Feet grounded. This isn't just meditation. This is quantum frequency recalibration. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice your breath, not controlling, observing. Your nervous system is a quantum antenna. Right now it's broadcasting your current reality. Scan your body. Jaw. Where are you holding desire as tension? Shoulders. What effort are you still performing? Stomach. What fear lives beneath your wanting? Breathe out. Release. Not by force, by permission. Now, quantum shift begins. Not in the mind. In the cellular frequency. Feel the timeline where your desire is already complete. Not imagination. Cellular memory. What does your body feel like? Relaxed? Certain? Inevitable? Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between remembered and anticipated experience. This feeling isn't hope. This is frequency. Lock this frequency. New baseline. No return. You are not waiting. You are collapsing. Timelines bend to your coherence. This is not meditation. This is quantum field instruction. Your body knows. Your cells know. The field obeys. Breathe. You have already arrived. Would you like me to decode the precise neurological mechanisms that just transformed your quantum potential? To help you deepen that integration, we've created something intentional, something precise, a transmission designed to stabilize your new frequency, anchor your expanded identity, and guide you through the real embodiment of quantum creation. It's called Quantum Frequency Calibration, Neurological Reprogramming Guide, and it's more than just a PDF. It's a frequency transmission curated to help you collapse your next timeline with clarity, consistency, and resonance. It brings together neuroscience protocols, quantum meditation techniques, and embodiment practices you didn't even know you needed until now. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. Go there not to get more information, but to amplify the integration of what's already begun inside you. Neuroscience of quantum field interaction. 1. Reticular activating system. The quantum filter. Scientific mechanism. Filters 40 million bits of information to 40 conscious bits. Quantum parallel. Consciousness as selective wave function collapse. Practical application. Intentionally program your RAS to recognize opportunities aligned with your desired timeline. 2. Neuroplasticity. Brain's quantum rewriting. Scientific mechanism. Neural pathways reshape with repeated signals. Quantum parallel. Consciousness directly modifying probability landscapes. Practical application. Deliberate, repetitive embodiment of desired state rewrites neural architecture. 3. Heart-brain coherence. Electromagnetic quantum communication. Scientific mechanism. HeartMath research shows heart generates strongest electromagnetic field. Quantum parallel. Coherent emotional states as quantum signal generators. Practical application. Heart-focused meditation as frequency transmission. Mirror neurons. Embodiments quantum mechanism. Scientific mechanism. Neurons fire identically when observing or performing action. Quantum parallel. Observer effect at neurological level. Practical application. Immersive visualization as quantum reality instruction. 5. Theta brainwaves quantum access state. Scientific mechanism. 4-8 Hz frequency associated with deep meditation, creativity. Quantum parallel. Liminal state between potential and manifestation. Practical application. Deliberate theta induction as quantum timeline navigation. The mystical is not magical, it's just neuroscience we haven't fully mapped yet. Would you like to explore how your brain is actually a quantum probability generator? Quantum truth transmission. Dismantling resistance objection. 1. Isn't this just spiritual bypassing? Intelligence. Acknowledged. You're protecting yourself from magical thinking. Valid concern about avoiding real psychological work. Quantum truth. Embodiment is not avoidance. It's neurological recalibration. Spiritual bypassing skims the surface. Quantum integration goes cellular. Example. Traditional bypassing says, just be positive. Quantum approach rewires your nervous system's survival programming, transforming trauma at the neurological root. Objection 2. What about actual physical action? Intelligence acknowledged. Practical minds understand execution matters. Action isn't the enemy. Misaligned action is. Quantum truth. Action follows frequency, not the reverse. Your nervous system determines action quality. Aligned action emerges naturally from coherent state. Example. Compare forced hustling versus inspired movement. One drains, one multiplies. Objection 3. Isn't this just confirmation bias? Intelligence, acknowledged. Scientific skepticism protects against delusion. Excellent critical thinking. Quantum truth. Confirmation bias assumes reality is fixed. Quantum mechanics reveals observation creates reality. Your bias is actually a generative mechanism. Example. Double-slit experiment proves observer changes particle behavior. Your attention isn't passive, it's creative. Objection 4. Why do bad things happen if we create reality? Intelligence acknowledged. Deep question revealing compassionate complexity. Quantum truth. We co-create collectively. Individual frequency interacts with collective field. Not everything is personal manifestation. Some experiences are evolutionary contracts, not punishments. Example. Personal growth often emerges through challenging experiences, not as punishment, but as expansion. Objection 5. This sounds too easy, fast to be real. Intelligence acknowledged. Healthy protection against false promises. Quantum truth. Ease doesn't mean effortless. It means aligned. Speed comes from removing internal contradiction, not adding complexity. Example. Water doesn't try to flow downhill. It simply follows its nature when obstacles are removed. Meta-perspective. These objections aren't obstacles. They're portals. Each question is your consciousness preparing to expand. Resistance is just unintegrated potential asking to be understood. Quantum integration key. Your skepticism isn't weakness. It's intelligence seeking precise understanding. Would you be willing to let your resistance become your greatest teacher? Quantum timeline convergence, future self-transmission. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Your breath is a quantum bridge between potential realities. Feel the space around you becoming fluid, permeable. A doorway appears, not physical, but vibrational, translucent, shimmering with potential. Your hand touches the quantum threshold. No resistance. You step through. The space feels different, lighter, charged. Ahead stands your future self, 6 months from now. Not a projection, a living frequency. Observe their presence. They're wearing something unexpected, not fancy but perfectly aligned. A deep navy blazer that speaks of quiet confidence, not trying to impress, simply being. Fabric moves with them, not against them. Fabric of reality bends subtly around their energy. Posture, spine elongated but relaxed. No performance, pure presence. Shoulders soft but strong. No tension holding past struggles. Feet planted, not rigid, but rooted, like they could move instantly or stand completely still. Both are equally available. Facial expression, not excitement. Something deeper, profound peace. Eyes clear, no searching, no proving, just knowing. Slight knowing smile, not arrogant, compassionate, like they understand something fundamental about reality that makes struggle optional. Energy signature, magnetic without manipulation, gravity without force. People would be drawn to them without them doing anything. Pure signal, pure transmission. They speak, not with words initially, with frequency. Stop trying to make things happen. Start allowing things to emerge. Your desperation is a frequency of lack. Your peace is a frequency of creation. The moment you trust, truly trust, is the moment reality reorganizes around you. Specific guidance floods in. Release the relationship that keeps you small. Trust the opportunity that looks illogical. Your body knows before your mind understands. The next move isn't strategic, it's vibrational. Your worth isn't earned. It's remembered, a quantum download, cellular, beyond language. They place their hand on your heart, not physically, energetically. Transmission complete. Their frequency embeds, not as information, as knowing. Slowly return. Open eyes. You're different. Not because something happened, because something remembered itself. Would you be willing to let this transmission continue reorganizing your reality even after this moment ends? Quantum identity orchestration, frequency recalibration, transmission. Stage 1. I want to be someone who. Energetic signature, separation, desire from a distance. The quantum gap between current reality and imagined potential. Common block. Seeing desired identity as external, unreachable. Breakthrough. Recognize wanting is already a frequency of creation. Your desire is the universe's invitation, not a gap, a signal. Declaration. I want to be someone who moves through life with radical trust, whose nervous system knows peace as its native language, who creates without effort, who attracts instead of chases. Stage 2. I'm becoming. Energetic signature. Effortful transformation, trying, pushing, common block, belief that change requires struggle, breakthrough, becoming is not doing, it's allowing, soft surrender, quantum physics, observation changes particle behavior, you're not becoming, you're permitting, declaration, I'm becoming someone whose internal state is so coherent, reality reorganizes to match my frequency, I'm becoming unshakable, magnetic, precise. Stage 3. I'm choosing. Energetic. Signature. Decision. Commitment. Neurological rewiring begins. Common block. Choosing from old identity. Breakthrough. True choice comes from future self, not past programming. Choice is a quantum signal that collapses timelines. Declaration. I'm choosing to drop every story that says I'm not enough. I'm choosing ease. I'm choosing to let my nervous system know safety is my birthright. Stage 4. I'm practicing. Energetic signature. Intentional embodiment. Microscopic shifts. Common block. Seeing practice as performance. Breakthrough. Practice is not repetition. It's remembering. Cellular recalibration. Declaration. I'm practicing feeling my worth before external validation. I'm practicing trusting my intuition. I'm practicing letting go without understanding everything. Stage 5. I am. Energetic signature. Collapse. Identity dissolves. No separation. Common block. Imposter syndrome. Breakthrough. Identity is not earned. It's remembered. You're not becoming. You're allowing what's always been. Declaration. I am the frequency of effortless creation. I am the embodiment of quantum possibility. I am magnetic presence. I am the signal that reorganizes reality. I am beyond past and future. I am pure potential in human form. Stage 6. I've always been. Energetic signature. Timeless knowing. Memory beyond linear time. Common block. Believing transformation is linear. Breakthrough. All timelines exist simultaneously. You're remembering, not changing. Declaration. I've always been this powerful. I've always known how to trust. I've always been capable of radical transformation. I've always been the quantum creator of my reality. I've always been beyond what my mind could comprehend. Stage 7. Silence, energetic signature. Pure frequency. No language. Total integration. No words. Just presence. Holding the frequency of total liberation. Final transmission. Your identity is not a destination. It's a continuous quantum signal. Would you be willing to let this transmission rewrite everything you thought was fixed? CTA integration. And if this transmission resonated with you, if you felt the frequency shift as you listened, subscribe to this channel, because we're not here to give you more content. We're here to collapse timelines with you. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not a lesson. Turn on notifications not so you don't miss a video, but so you don't miss the exact transmission your nervous system needs next. And leave a like, not for the algorithm, but as an energetic signature that says, I'm choosing coherence over consumption. For those ready to move from understanding to embodiment, I've designed the 7-Day Quantum Reset Protocol, a systematic approach to frequency engineering that leaves zero room for accidental survival patterns. 7-Day Quantum Reset Protocol. Day 1, Frequency Mapping. Objective, precise current state diagnosis. Time, 7:20 p.m. Assessment tools, unconscious pattern. Mapping, identify internal conflicts, belief system rewiring. Specific technique, quantum negotiation, dialogue with unconscious survival mechanisms. Demonstrate they're no longer required. Offer new operating system resistance checkpoint. Emotional turbulence indicates system upgrade in progress. Journal prompt. The contradiction I'm ready to release is Day 3. New baseline installation. Objective. Embodiment recalibration. Time. 7:40 p.m. Embodiment. Mechanics. Breath frequency alignment. Cellular memory reset. Specific technique. Quantum imprinting. Visualize desired nervous system state. Physically anchor new frequency. Neurological rewiring through intentional movement. Resistance checkpoint. Physical sensations of expansion, tingling indicate successful transmission. Journal prompt. The baseline frequency I'm installing feels like, would you be willing to let this protocol become the most precise quantum reset you've ever experienced? Quantum corporate metamorphosis. The frequency of true success. Exterior, polished, pristine. The archetypal corporate warrior. Corner office overlooking Manhattan. Mahogany desk. Patek Philippe watch. Annual compensation. 1.2 meters. External metrics. Perfection. Internal landscape. Nuclear meltdown. Every morning, 4 a.m. panic attacks. Cortisol tsunami. Nervous system operating at DEFCON 1. Success measured in survival units, not actual living. Breakdown moment. Executive physical. Numbers don't lie. Blood pressure. 168/102 cortisol levels. Astronomical sleep quality. Non-existent nervous system. Perpetual fight mode. The paradox of modern achievement. Maximum external output. Minimum internal integrity. Quantum diagnostic. Not a performance problem. A frequency problem. Transformation wasn't about doing more. It was about being different. The protocol. 90-Day Quantum Corporate Recalibration Phase 1. Nervous system rewiring. Morning 20-minute quantum reset meditation. Eliminate caffeine. Replace hustle with cellular listening. Track. Not productivity, but presence. Energetic signature shift. From survival frequency to creation frequency. Breakthrough. Mechanism. Nervous system knows before mind understands. Unexpected result. Same business, different embodiment. Worked 40% less. Generated 82% more revenue. Zero burnout strategy. Key quantum principles activated. 1. Frequency determines outcome. 2. Ease is the new efficiency. 3. Presence multiplies performance resistance checkpoint. When transformation feels too easy, you're doing it correctly. Would you be willing to let your nervous system become the most sophisticated performance tool in your arsenal? Quantum timing. Decoding the myth of divine delay. Most spiritual teachings perpetuate a dangerous illusion that timing is something external, decided by some cosmic bureaucracy. The quantum truth? Timing is your frequency's coherence report. What we call waiting is actually frequency wobbling. Imagine your desired reality as a precise radio frequency. Delay isn't the universe deciding. It's your internal signal fluctuating. Frequency inconsistency, markers, simultaneous desire and doubt, emotional contradictions, unconscious fear broadcasts, narrative of unworthiness, the intention manifestation gap, not a distance, a vibrational dissonance. Quantum diagnostic tool, frequency consistency spectrum, 0%, pure chaos, 50%, partial alignment, 90%, coherent signal, 100%, quantum collapse surrender mechanism, not passivity, precision. When you truly surrender, you're not giving up. You're stopping the internal interference, like a radio finding its perfect frequency, stopping all static, distinguishing signal states, not yet, unclean signal, not this, wrong timeline, persistence versus pivoting algorithm, if then pivot, else persist with frequency refinement, practical quantum calibration. 1. Feel the desire without attachment. 2. Remove emotional turbulence. 3. Let the signal stabilize. 4. Allow without forcing, the mystic knows. Waiting is an illusion. Frequency is the only true currency of creation. Would you be willing to let your nervous system become the most precise manifestation instrument in existence? Quantum metaphors. The invisible architecture of reality. 1. Tuning fork. Resonance as creation mechanism. Physics. Principle. When one tuning fork vibrates, another identically tuned fork begins to oscillate without direct contact. Pure sympathetic vibration. Spiritual translation. You are not attracting reality. You are becoming the frequency that cannot be ignored. Quantum mechanics. Resonance requires precise calibration. Interference destroys coherence. Matching is instantaneous, not effortful. Vibration precedes manifestation, embodiment practice. Become the tuning fork of your desired reality, not through visualization, through cellular knowing. 2. Hologram. Fractal consciousness transmission. Scientific foundation. Holographic plate. Every fragment contains entire image. Shine laser. Entire picture emerges. Metaphysical implication. You don't manifest into reality. You are the reality, broadcasting continuously. Quantum insights. Whole contains part. Part contains whole. Change frequency. Change entire field. Perception creates interference pattern embodiment instruction. Your nervous system is the holographic plate. Calibrate the laser of consciousness. 3. Quantum entanglement. Instantaneous connection. Physicists' discovery. Particles remain connected regardless of distance. Instantaneous information transfer. Spiritual revelation. Desire and manifestation are already entangled. Not two separate states. One continuous transmission. Quantum principles. Connection transcends linear time. Alignment is not attraction. Separation is perceptual illusion. Coherence determines transfer speed. Embodiment wisdom. You're not waiting for connection. You are the connection. Unifying principle. Reality is a living, responsive frequency system. You are both the instrument and the music. Would you be willing to let your nervous system become the most precise quantum transmission device in existence? The quantum radio parable. Frequency versus effort. 2 operators. 1 quantum radio. Infinite timelines. Operator Michael. The analyzer approach intellectual deconstruction daily ritual. Disassemble radio. Read every manual. Calculate signal probabilities. Measure reception mathematically. Ask, why won't you work? Operator Sarah. The tuner approach. Vibrational alignment. Daily practice. Feel desired frequency. Breathe into reception. Maintain emotional coherence. Trust transmission. Become the signal. 30-day contrast experiment results. Michael's journey. Week 1-2. Frustration. Escalation. 0 signals received. Increasing technical complexity. Growing resentment toward device. Mental exhaustion. Belief. Something must be wrong with radio. Sarah's experience. Week 1-2. Effortless reception. Multiple timeline signals. Increasing clarity. Emotional neutrality. Subtle synchronicities. Intuitive understanding. Quantum decoding. The radio. Consciousness field. Tuning. Emotional coherence. Signal. Potential timeline reception. Nervous system calibration 5. Quantum tuning techniques. 1. Emotional neutrality protocol. 2. Somatic resonance mapping. 3. Frequency stabilization meditation. 4. Narrative dissolution practice. 5. Embodied coherence breathing. Breakthrough. Moment. Michael realizes radios don't work through understanding. They work through being. Profound revelation. You are not operating the radio. You are the radio. Would you be willing to become the most precise transmission device in your own quantum reality? Breath. The quantum collapse mechanism. Physiological alchemy. Every breath. A quantum event. Microscopic manifestation cycle. Potential. Infinite possibility. Particle. Precise selection. Transformation. Instantaneous creation. Release. Return to potential breath as quantum translator. 20,000 daily manifestation events. Unconscious quantum negotiation. Continuous wave particle collapse. Living manifestation algorithm quantum breath architectures. 1. Neutrality breath. 4 counts inhale, 7 counts suspension, 8 counts release. Nervous system recalibration. Timeline interference pattern disruption. 2. Coherence protocol. Diaphragmatic activation. Heart-brain synchronization. Electromagnetic field stabilization. Frequency matching desired reality. 3. Potential collapse sequence. Breathe potential, not current reality. Feel future self breathing through you. Cellular memory reprogramming. Quantum signaling beyond linear time. Breath wisdom. You are not breathing. Breath is breathing you. A continuous quantum negotiation with infinite potential. Would you surrender control and become the living manifestation algorithm? Quantum timeline divergence. The same day. 2 realities. Misaligned timeline. Survival mode. Landscape. You wake before the alarm. Heart already racing. Cortisol surge before consciousness. Phone in hand, scrolling doom, comparing, judging. Notifications like tiny daggers. Each ping a micro-trauma. Body tight. Breath shallow. Mind already 3 steps ahead. 0 steps present. Breakfast. Rushed consumption. Coffee as emergency fuel. No nourishment, only stimulation. Internal dialogue. Constant criticism. Not enough, never enough, always behind. Each movement feels like swimming through resistance. Traffic becomes war. Emails feel like attacks. Meetings, emotional minefields. Lunch, forgotten. Stress eating at 3 p.m. Processed comfort. Blood sugar crash. Emotional volatility rising. Every interaction feels like negotiation. Colleagues seem like obstacles. Money conversations trigger scarcity panic. Projects feel like burdens, not expressions. Evening. Complete energetic collapse. Scrolling as numbing mechanism. Comparison as self-torture. Dreams feel distant. Body aches. Mind races. Sleep is temporary surrender, not restoration. Aligned timeline. Quantum cooperation landscape. You awaken. Breath first. Nervous system knows safety. No phone. No immediate consumption. Presence as primary practice. Body feels like an ally, not a battlefield. Morning. Spaciousness. Meditation not as task, but as breathing. Cellular recalibration. Intuition online. Synchronicities begin whispering. Right information appears effortlessly. Ideas flow like water. Creativity not forced. Invited. Breakfast. Intentional nourishment. Each bite a communication with life force. Body receiving, not consuming. Conversations feel like collaborations. Money conversations. Opportunities, not threats. Projects feel like invitations, not obligations. Afternoon. Time becomes fluid. Meetings are resonance chambers. Colleagues feel like co-creators. Unexpected support appears. Challenges become portals. Learning replaces struggle. Energy accumulates, not depletes. Evening. Completion feels like celebration. Gratitude not as practice but as natural state. Body relaxed, mind clear. Future feels like an open invitation. The quantum truth. Same person, same 24 hours. Different frequency, different reality. Invitation. Which timeline are you broadcasting right now? Quantum manifestation. The childhood frequency. Interrupted. Childhood manifestation. Architecture. Theta. Brainwave. Dominance. Pure frequency transmission. Zero energetic contradiction. Immediate belief materialization. Cosmic trust as default operating system. Societal manifestation interruption points. 1. Educational conditioning. Systematic logical override. Reward-punishment frequency. Creativity suppression mechanism. Critical thinking. Replacing intuitive knowing. Standardized testing as frequency limitation. 2. Trauma response layers. Safety mechanism. Logical control. Predictability over possibility. Nervous system. Protective shutdown. Intuitive channels. Blocked. Survival. Creation. Hierarchy. 3. Cultural belief programming. Scarcity as fundamental narrative. Work ethic over quantum alignment. Effort valorization. Performance. Being. Linear time imprisonment. Quantum recalibration. Protocols. Theta gateway. Reopening practices. Morning liminal state meditation. Non-linear visualization. Embodied imagination training. Nervous system. Quantum repatterning. Belief architecture. Deconstruction. Wisdom. Integration techniques. Adult consciousness. Plus childhood frequency. Rational mind. As ally, not gatekeeper. Strategic surrender. Intentional naivety. Cosmic trust with grounded awareness. Manifestation. Restoration. Sequence. Theta. State adult wisdom. Quantum alignment. Effortless creation. Invitation. Would you be willing to remember the quantum wizard you were before the world told you who to be? Quantum probability. Transmission. 30-day manifestation forecast. Prophecy. 1. 72-hour quantum contact mechanism. Frequency resonance. Recalibration. Prediction. Someone from your past will emerge with a precise opportunity, matching your emergent frequency. Quantum signature. Unresolved potential energy waiting for alignment. Recognition markers. Unexpected communication channel. Conversation feels effortless. Opportunity feels like remembering, not discovering action protocol. Listen. Do not over-strategize. Receive. Prophecy 2. Week 2. Unexpected financial activation mechanism. Collapsed scarcity. Probability fields. Prediction. Forgotten financial channel reactivates. Money from unexpected source quantum signature. Surplus frequency. Overriding lack programming. Recognition markers. Spontaneous reimbursement. Unexpected inheritance fragment. Random administrative correction. Action protocol. Accept without explanation. No forensic investigation. Prophecy 3. Day 21. Closed door. Resurrection mechanism. Timeline interference pattern. Disruption. Prediction. Previously blocked opportunity. Relationship reopens. Quantum signature. Potential energy waiting for coherence recognition. Markers. Sudden communication resumption. Synchronistic reappearance. Effortless resolution of previous blockage action. Protocol. Enter without hesitation. Zero explanation required. Prophecy 4. Accelerated relational quantum leap mechanism. Electromagnetic emotional recalibration. Prediction. Profound romantic professional partnership materializes quantum signature. Vibrational match supersedes logical selection. Recognition markers. Instant energetic recognition. Zero initial resistance. Conversation feels like remembering action protocol. Presence over performance. Prophecy. 5. Instantaneous skill. Download mechanism. Neuroplastic frequency transmission. Prediction. Sudden. Competence in previously challenging domain quantum signature. Cellular knowledge transfer recognition markers. Unexpected comprehension. Intuitive mastery. Learning feels like remembering action protocol. Trust. Practice. Integrate. Prophecy 6. Geographic quantum shift mechanism. Resonance field collapse. Prediction. Unexpected relocation dash travel opportunity. Quantum signature. Geographical frequency alignment. Recognition. Markers. Spontaneous invitation. Synchronistic travel trigger. Zero logistical resistance action. Protocol. Move without explanation. Prophecy 7. Cosmic calibration event mechanism. Multidimensional frequency. Synchronization. Prediction. Profound spiritual existential clarity moment. Quantum signature. Consciousness expansion recognition. Markers. Sudden perspective shift. Emotional transparency. Zero attachment to previous narrative action. Protocol. Witness. Receive. Integrate. Documentation. Protocol. Screenshot. Each manifestation. Date and timestamp. Energetic notes. Zero skepticism. Final transmission. Your frequency is the prophecy. The universe is always listening. Reality architecture. Consciousness as quantum rendering engine simulation. Mechanics. Reality as dynamically rendered probability field rendering rules. Only observed sectors receive full resolution. Unobserved zones. Pure potential wave. Consciousness. Central processing unit. Attention. Rendering trigger. Belief. Graphic fidelity protocol. Consciousness programming layers. 1. Base layer. Probability potential. 2. Middleware. Belief systems. 3. User interface. Sensory perception. 4. Kernel. Core frequency signature. Reality hack. Protocols. Consciousness manipulation techniques. Reduce observation density. Expand potential zones. Destabilize fixed narrative architectures. Introduce quantum uncertainty. Simulation. Glitch mechanisms. How reality breaks its own rules. Synchronicities. Rendering errors. Déjà vu. Cache reload. Intuition. Back-end communication. Quantum entanglement. Source code. Leak. Manifestation. As code injection. 1. Identify current program. 2. Locate limitation algorithms. 3. Introduce new frequency packet. 4. Override existing subroutines. 5. Stabilize new reality construct. Consciousness. Debugging. Meditation. System defragmentation. Emotional coherence. Firewall optimization. Quantum alignment. Performance upgrade reality. Hacker's manual. You are simultaneously the programmer, the code, and the game. Hack responsibly. Quantum resistance transmission. Navigating the frequency interference field. Resistance architecture. Not enemy, but evolutionary protection mechanism. Survival software detecting potential timeline disruption. Nervous system's quantum firewall. Energetic immune response to massive transformation. Resistance manifestation signals. Physical indicators. Sudden unexplained fatigue. Muscle tension. Contraction. Digestive system disruption. Sleep pattern interruptions. Phantom anxiety. Without clear source psychological markers. Self-sabotage impulses. Overthinking previous decisions. Inexplicable doubt. Temporary loss of vision clarity. Regression to old narrative patterns. Quantum resistance protocol. Stage 1. Recognition. Observe without attachment. Identify resistance as information, not obstruction. Understand. Resistance. Proximity to breakthrough signal. Stage 2. Nervous system negotiation. Communicate safety to survival mechanisms. Use somatic language. We are expanding, not threatening. Demonstrate new timeline stability through embodied calm. Stage 3. Frequency. Maintenance. Maintain desired state without fighting current state. Breathe into resistance. Allow simultaneous existence of old new frequencies. Zero judgment bandwidth resistance dissolution. Mechanics. Resistance dissolves when no longer perceives threat. Surrender. Combat. Softness breaks harder structures faster than force. Case study insights. Pushed through. Creates internal warfare. Depletes energetic resources. Reinforces struggle narrative surrendered through. Minimal energetic expenditure. Allows natural recalibration. Maintains frequency integrity. Advanced integration. Technique. Thank you, protection system. I am safe. We are expanding together. Final transmission. Resistance is not your enemy. It's your most loyal evolutionary companion requesting gentle, compassionate renegotiation. So here we are, at the quantum threshold where resistance transforms from your greatest obstacle into your most precise navigation system. What we've uncovered isn't just a technique, it's a complete recalibration of how transformation actually works. You're not fighting against anything anymore. You're dancing with the most intelligent protection mechanism your nervous system has ever designed. I want to give you something that takes everything we've explored and turns it into a living, breathing transmission. We've created the Quantum Resistance Protocol, a comprehensive guide that isn't just information, but a frequency amplification tool. It's a PDF that functions more like an energetic blueprint, walking you through exactly how to recognize, negotiate with, and ultimately dissolve resistance without creating more internal conflict. Inside this guide, you'll find not just strategies, but precise somatic practices that teach your nervous system a completely new language of expansion. Practices that don't just tell you what to do, but demonstrate how to embody a state where resistance becomes your ally, not your enemy. And because I know how critical integration is, we're including a bonus 30-minute guided nervous system reset meditation that will help you stabilize these new quantum pathways. If this transmission has landed, if you've felt something shift just by listening, then you know this is more than content. This is a frequency recalibration. So here's what I invite you to do. Drop a comment below with, "I allow my expansion," as a vibrational signature that you're ready to work with resistance differently. Hit subscribe, not to get more information, but to continue this quantum journey together. And if this resonated, a quick like is your way of saying, "I'm choosing coherence over struggle." Your timeline is not something happening to you. It's something you're actively collapsing with every breath, every choice, every moment of compassionate self-awareness. The breakthrough isn't coming, the breakthrough is already here, waiting for you to simply step into its frequency. And so it is.